Hi guys, it is Cara the Bubblelush. You know, some days all I want to do is get on here and talk about Hannah and how awesome she is, or I want to blog about how stressed I am at work, but today I actually want to talk to you guys about something really serious. So, my husband gives me a lot of grief because I don't listen to NPR radio as often as he does. I have a long commute in the morning and a long commute in the afternoon, and most of the time I just like to listen to whatever radio station is playing, you know, the top 40, top 20 music, and just kind of veg out. But I've kind of been thinking that I should probably be more enlightened and educated, so I've been listening to NPR. National Public Radio, a lot more often. I listen to it on the way to work, I listen to it on the way home, and during the day while I'm driving around for my job, I also listen to it. So, like when I'm pumping and stuff. So while I was pumping the other day, I missed the beginning of the article, and they were talking about, so I didn't understand the context, but they were talking about famine and how they actually go about determining a famine. And it was really shocking to me that in order for the United Nations to declare a famine, it had to meet all this criteria. So I wanted to tell you guys the criteria before I get into this other thing. So in order to declare a famine, I'm going to look this up real quick, at least 20% of the population must be consuming less than 2,100 calories a day. 30% of children must be suffering from acute malnutrition, and 2 adults or 4 children out of every 10,000 people must die of hunger every day. 20% have to consume less than 2,100 calories. 30% of children must be suffering from acute malnutrition, and 2 adults or 4 children have to die, you know, out of every 10,000 people. It has to get to that point before they declare a famine. And the thing is that these numbers and statistics have to be created and documented, and it's kind of hard to do that. So they rely on United Nations volunteers that are in the country to keep these statistics. So yeah, it just is crazy to me that it has to get so bad before they call it a famine. So, some of you might have been hearing about the issue in Somalia, and I was watching Nightline the other night, and they were on the ground in Somalia as part of ABC News. ABC News is kind of pushing all this coverage on the ground in Somalia to let us see what it's like in these camps. And I think it was something like the camp is supposed to hold 90,000 people, and right now it's holding, I think it's over 375,000 people, and 1,000 people a day are showing up. And the thing is that these families, they're escaping Somalia to Kenya, I believe, and they're having to take, you know, all their possessions and enough food and water to last them the journey, and they are walking across the scorched earth. I mean, it is hot there. And many of them die along the way. Many of them, when they arrive to the camp, they're completely malnutritioned. Parents think that their children are going to die. They were interviewing one woman, and she thought her child was going to die. And they got to the camp, and they were able to give him an IV with some milk, and, you know, he was going to survive the day, but they didn't know if he was going to continue to live. So, and I'm sitting here watching this show, and it's just awful. It's awful, and it just makes my heart hurt. And I keep thinking about the fact that Hannah is asleep in her crib, and she is warm, and her tummy is full, and it's going to continue to be full because I have a pantry and a refrigerator full of food and milk, and she's never going to have to want for anything. And I just take it for granted. And you know, I take it for granted that I'm going to be able to feed my baby. If that's just a given. Of course I'm going to be able to feed my baby. And of course I'm going to be able to have a safe home for my baby. And these women in Somalia, they can't do that. They can't guarantee that. And, you know, their children are dying. they're starving to death in their arms, and I'm sitting here on my couch in my air conditioning watching TV. So that was really crazy. And then the show ended and it switched, because I was watching on the DVR, and the TV show that was on, it just started playing in the background, was, I think it's called Monster Kitchen. And these people were making giant donuts, 5-foot diameter donuts, for this stupid competition. And something happened where this guy was going to deep fry this donut to win the competition, and his container started leaking, and the fire department said that he wasn't going to be able to deep fry, and he just freaked out that he wasn't going to be able to deep fry this 5-foot diameter donut, and he wasn't going to win this competition. And I'm just thinking, like, we have so much food. We live in such a... We're blessed. Okay? We're blessed. So, it made me really want to do something. It's been on the news all day about this famine in Somalia, and I don't know if you've seen it or not. If you haven't, now I'm telling you about it. So, what I started doing is I started researching places where you could donate money that was going to be reputable, right? And what I found is CARE. So this is what CARE's website looks like. And right on the front page, they were talking about the emergency alert. And you can click here to learn more. They're talking about the food crisis in the Horn of Africa because the drought is the worst it has been, I guess, ever. And it's the first time that the word famine has been used in 20 years. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like, that's how bad this is. So you can read all about CARE's response, what they're going to do. There's a blog from the field, so you can kind of see how they are helping the people. You can also see some pictures if you need more convincing. And then you click on the Donate Now. And they have a suggestion that you donate $62. Because $62 can train a community volunteer to provide life-saving health support to communities in need. But what I am going to ask you to do, I'm going to ask you to donate $31. $31, $1 a day for every day in the month of August. If each one of my subscribers, I have just over 5,000 subscribers now, each one of my subscribers donated $31, we would raise $155,000. That's just, just your little bit of money combined with everyone else's help can make a huge impact. If just you and one other person donate $31, you'll be able to train a volunteer that can go out and help. The thing is, once these people get to the camp is so full and it's so crowded that even when they're in the camp, it's still hard for the hospital personnel to find them if they need help. So they were talking about how this woman was in labor, and they searched and they searched, and they were driving in this ambulance all over the camp. And because it's like a tent city, basically, they never found the woman. So they just need as much help as we can get. And I know that there are people in the United States that are starving. I know that there are children in the United States starving, but frankly, it is not on this level. Somalia really, really needs our help right now. So I'm just going to ask you to search your heart and to just check out the website, read a little bit, look at some videos or some pictures, and see if you can find room in your budget to spare $31. Just $1 a day for every day in August. Donate $1. And I think it can make a really big impact. So join me, won't you? And I guess give some love and give some compassion, because most of us have, babies in their nursery and their tummies are full, and we don't have to worry about them. And these women are watching their children die in their arms of starvation, and it shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen. And we can help stop it. So that's what I'm asking you to do today. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you have a beautiful weekend, and I really hope that you're able to search your heart and see if you can help. Bye, guys.